Welcome to our explainer. You know, the stock market can sometimes feel like this exclusive club with its own secret language. Well, today we're going to decode it for you. We're going to lay out a simple 5-step map that'll take you from feeling totally overwhelmed to feeling ready to make your very first trade. So let's jump right in.
Look, if you've ever glanced at a stock chart and felt like you were trying to read a foreign language, you are absolutely in the right place. That feeling of being in over your head, it's not just you, I promise. That's the starting line for pretty much every single trader. So, think of this explainer as your personal guide. We're handing you the map, we're giving you the compass, everything you need to navigate the market. The goal here is to help you stop second-guessing and start moving forward with real, actual confidence.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to tackle the most important question of all. What kind of trader are you? From there, we'll help you pick the right platform, then we'll get into the nuts and bolts of making a trade, cover the one skill that's absolutely critical, managing your risk, and finally, we'll talk about building the right mindset to actually succeed long-term. Okay, first things first. Before you even think about picking a stock, you've got to look in the mirror. See, your success in trading has way less to do with finding some perfect stock and everything to do with picking a trading style that actually fits your personality, your daily schedule, and frankly, your stomach for risk.
So this table here really breaks down the 3 basic paths. On one end of the spectrum, you've got day trading. Think of that as a high-intensity, all-out sprint. On the other end, there's position trading, which is much more of a marathon. And right there in the middle, you have swing trading. The key thing to notice here is the connection between how much time you put in and the level of risk you take on. So, how do you know which path is for you? Well, it all comes down to asking yourself a few really honest questions. Like, does the idea of losing money literally keep you up at night? Do you have a day job that means you can't be glued to a screen all day? Are you trying to build wealth for retirement way down the road? Or are you hoping to generate some income right now? Be real with yourself. Your answers are going to point you in the right direction.
And this is really the bottom line. There is no single best way to trade. There's only the best way for you. Trying to force yourself to be a day trader when you're naturally a cautious person with a busy job, well, that's just a recipe for disaster. The whole goal is alignment, not imitation.
All right, so once you've got a decent idea of your trading identity, it's time to get your gear. You know, choosing an online brokerage is kind of like a hiker choosing the right boots. What you need for a casual day hike is totally different from what you need to climb Mount Everest. And this is where knowing yourself really starts to pay off. If you're a day trader, you live and die by speed, so you need a platform that's lightning fast with advanced data. But a swing or position trader, they're going to care a lot more about having great research tools. And hey, if you just want to be totally hands-off, a robo-advisor is built for exactly that. You know, the actual process of opening an account is way simpler than most people imagine. It's usually just these 4 steps. Give them your personal info, pick an account type, fill out the application, and then put some money in it. Seriously, it's designed to be pretty quick and painless. And now for what is quite possibly the single most important tip for any new trader. Please, use a demo account first. It is literally a flight simulator for trading. It lets you test out the platform, try your strategies, and make all of your rookie mistakes with fake money, not your hard-earned cash.
Okay, so you know who you are as a trader, and you've got your platform. Now, it's time for the main event, learning how to read the market and actually place a trade. This is where the rubber meets the road.
So, you've basically got 2 main lenses for looking at stocks. The first is fundamental analysis. This is all about digging into a company's health, its earnings, its debt, where it stands in its industry. This is the world of the long-term position trader. Then you have technical analysis. That is all about studying the charts and looking for patterns in price and volume. That's the primary toolbox for day and swing traders. So when you're ready to buy or sell, you've got a few ways to do it. The most basic is called a market order. Think of it like walking into a store and just saying, "I'll take it." You get this stock immediately, at whatever the current price happens to be. It's all about speed, not about getting the perfect price. But what if you don't like that current price? Well, that's when you use a limit order. This is like telling your broker, "Hey, I'm only willing to buy this stock if it drops to this specific price." You get total control over what you pay. The only catch is the stock might never hit your price, which means your trade might never happen. And finally, we've got your most important defensive tool, the stop order, also called a stop loss. This is your emergency exit. You set it at a price below where the stock is trading, and if the stock falls and hits that price, it automatically sells for you. This is how you stop a small loss from turning into a disastrous one. And this whole idea of protection, well, it's everything.
Which brings us to what just might be the most critical part of your entire trading journey. I'm serious. This isn't just another strategy. Mastering risk is the one discipline that will keep you in the game long enough to actually find success.
I want you to just burn this number into your brain. 1 to 2%. If you forget everything else from this explainer, please remember this number.
This is the absolute golden rule of trading. It means you never, ever risk more than 1 or 2% of your entire account on any single trade. This one rule is what separates amateurs from professionals. It's what ensures that no single bad decision can ever wipe you out.
And a really cool way to enforce this is with something called a trailing stop loss. It's like an automated bodyguard for your profits. As the stock price goes up, your stop loss automatically moves up with it, always staying a certain distance behind. If the stock suddenly turns around and falls, it hits that new, higher stop and you sell, locking in the gains you made. It's basically discipline on autopilot.
So, we've covered all the mechanics, the what and the how. But the biggest factor in your long-term success, it's not your charts, it's not your orders, it's the 6 inches between your ears. So this final piece of the puzzle is all about mastering your own psychology. This right here is the inner toolkit every great trader builds over time. It starts with discipline, the ability to stick to your plan even when it's tough. It takes emotional control, so you're not making decisions based on fear or greed. You'll need mental fortitude because, trust me, you will have losses. And maybe most importantly, you need to commit to continuous learning because the market is always changing and so are you.
You know, it's so easy to think that once you learn these rules, you're done, you've arrived. But as one of our sources says so perfectly, all of this just brings you to the beginning, not the end of your investing journey. This isn't the finish line, it's the starting gate. So, you have the map now. You have the compass. You know the rules of the road. The journey from here isn't about finding some magic secret. It's just about taking that first, small, well-informed step. The only question left is, where will your journey begin?